The Taliban have made their statement quite clear. They oppose Turkey's proposal to guard Kabul airport and have reiterated that Turkey must leave Afghanistan in accordance with the deal signed in 2020. However, Turkey is keen to stay with 500 soldiers. That's if NATO allies provide financial, logistical and political support. For the past 100 years, from the time of Atatürk to Amanullah Khan, Turkey has sought a presence in Afghanistan. The years after World War I were critical times for the whole world and the region. At the same time, the Republic of Turkey, led by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, was the second country to recognize Afghanistan's independence after the Soviet Union. Amanullah Khan, the pro-Western Afghan king, was eager to reach out to Mustafa Kemal, the founder of the Republic of Turkey. He travelled to Turkey in 1928 and developed the so-called brotherly relations between Turkey and Afghanistan.
The Taliban have rejected a Turkish proposal to guard and run Kabul's airport after US-led forces depart. In an interview, a spokesperson said Ankara is part of NATO forces and it should withdraw troops under the 2020 deal.
Fast forward today, I'll tell you, it's not just about the security of an international airport. It's more than that. Airport security is only part of Turkey's strategy to improve its position in Afghanistan, and it's plausible that this initial contract, if granted, is a prelude to the construction of a Turkish military base on Afghan soil, which means NATO influence in the region stays.
Turkey has offered to guard and run Kabul's airport after the withdrawal. I mean, I imagine this will be discussed during the NATO summit. Do you believe this is a good initiative that could help maybe ward off the possible consequences of the NATO withdrawal?
I think it is extremely important that NATO and NATO allies are now working on how can we maintain some important critical infrastructure, including the airport. And Turkey is now working on that, consulting with other NATO allies. NATO is looking into how we can provide support to the running of an international airport in Kabul.
Turkey is doing everything in its power to seek permission from the United States and NATO, and the topic of the Hamid Karzai airport will definitely be discussed in the upcoming meeting between Biden and Erdogan. However, it's not clear how NATO will respond to Turkey's proposal, especially with the Taliban warning Turkey. Also, NATO at present isn't very generous and it's not very pleased with Erdogan buying Russian weapons. So there's a big question mark as to whether the security contract for Turkey to guard Hamid Karzai airport will go ahead or not. Although Turkey has tried to be at the forefront during negotiations with the Taliban, evidence shows that the Taliban are reluctant to accept Turkish influence in Afghanistan. Furthermore, other powerful Afghan groups have not welcomed Turkey's efforts to establish peace in Afghanistan either. Realistically speaking, Turkey can't offer anything to Afghanistan. Poverty and economic problems are rampant in Afghanistan, and the wave of migration of thousands of Afghans to Turkey and Europe continues. Turkey doesn't have the money to invest in Afghanistan, so any money invested by Turkey will come from NATO, which means Turkey must adhere to NATO rules, which of course will not be pleasing to the Afghan people, neither the Taliban. There's also another problem. Russia has always had particular sensitivities about Afghanistan being used as a playing field. It remains to be seen how Moscow will react if Turkey replaces Russia's close friend, the current Afghan regime, in place of Russia's old enemies, the United States and NATO. Erdogan isn't doing very well economically, firing one central bank chief after another. So far, it's been China to the rescue. China has become an important economic hub for Turkish traders, and Turkey is transporting its goods by train from Istanbul to China. Therefore, a presence in Afghanistan which neighbours China gives Turkey better economic opportunities to coordinate with Beijing. And given the situation, the current situation with Western nations and China, I highly doubt Turkey's proposal to guard the airport in Kabul will be endorsed. Now we'll have to wait. We've heard the Taliban side in regards to Turkey staying in Afghanistan. It would be interesting to see if Erdogan can gather support for the presence of his troops in Afghanistan. It's going to be difficult in Brussels, with US President Joe Biden, who's called for regime change in Turkey in the past. French President Macron who regularly clashes with Erdogan, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, who's worried about Turkey's dealings with Russia, and the Greek Prime Minister Mitsotakis, who's no fan of Erdogan due to the maritime dispute.